Hello everyone, my name is Martin from Finance Oracle. Well, today I have wonderful information for you, and this is 10 countries in Europe you can move to study for free. Yes, you can move to these countries to study in Europe for free or at a very less amount of money. Then before I go into these countries, I would like to tell you the things you need to have before you apply for this university. So before applying, you need to have an international passport, you need to have a letter of motivation, you need to have an academic CV, you need to have 2 reference letters, then you also need to have a letter of English proficiency in situations where English language test is required, or then you may have Ielts, you may have an English language proficiency test. So it's all depends on which of the university you're applying to. But the university I'm going to be talking about, it is only very few of them that requires English language proficiency tests. So that means if you don't have English language proficiency tests, then you have a lot of chances to apply for admission to study free of charge or at a very little amount of money. So I would like you to listen carefully, but then also be aware that your academic CV needs to be well tailored. So you may have to consult firstpenmanwriter. I'm going to be dropping in the comment section. I mean, if you're not good in CV making, if you're not good in drafting letter of motivation, firstpenmanwriter would be able to help you. But if you can do it on your own, this is excellent and that is good enough. At least it's going to save you a little amount of money. So, well, the first school I will be discussing, the first country I'm going to be discussing where you can apply for universities so that you study free of charge is in Iceland. Yes, Iceland. In Iceland there is no tuition. And again, admission already has opened in December. So it means that you can actually apply right now. Okay? An application fee is about 250 euros in Iceland, which is considerably fair. There are universities in Iceland I would recommend for you, and these universities are cheap. These universities are free of charge, and also they are very good universities. In fact, one of the best in Ireland. Okay, one of them is Holar University, Holar. Another one is Bifrost University, which is Bifrost. Another one is Akureyri University, which is Akureyri. And another one is University of Agriculture in Iceland. There are also other universities which are very good in Iceland, but these ones are in the forefront. In Iceland, the proof of fund varies within 8,000 euros, about 8,000 euros. That is for visa application anyway, not for any other thing, just for visa application. You can work while studying in Iceland, and courses are taught in Iceland, so you don't need to bother about English issue, whether it's going to be taught in English or in some other languages. And the down part of it, or is that you cannot move with your family to Iceland except after you've lived there for 1 year as a student. Then you cannot move your family. But that's okay, it's not a big deal. The next I want to talk about is Germany. Yeah, Germany is actually tuition free. Now the government is beginning to implement tuition, some low tuition for international students, but that is not high enough. I mean, it's not expensive. But then schools have started implementing it, but most schools are still free of cost in Germany. So if you're going to study in Germany, you will be able to get tuition-free universities in Germany or very low tuition in Germany. You can get a visa to move with a family. So, I mean, from when you apply, you can get a visa to move with your family. But the difficult thing about Germany is that in Germany, getting an appointment is difficult, especially if you're in certain countries like West Africa. But I mean, if you're in Canada, in the US, it's not difficult to get a visa appointment. But if you're from West Africa, some areas it's difficult, so it may not be your best buy. Sometimes it takes about 1 year, 6 months, 8 months to get a visa appointment. But then, if you plan ahead of time, then you can try it because you can move with your family, and there is no Ielts requirements. There's also no language barrier. A lot of courses are taught in English, so when you apply, you have to check, is it an English taught course or is it taught in German language? So one other thing you need to know about Germany is for you to be able to get a visa, you need to have a blog account. And blog account means you're gonna pay about 10 to 11,000 euros, and this account will be blocked. You cannot access it unless you're in Germany, and they will dish it out to you on a monthly basis to ensure that you're able to take care of yourself. I mean, this money you're gonna be using it's not they're not taking it from you, it's their money. So all you need to do is to have money to pay for this block account. I don't know, I think there's some arrangement with banks, so I'm not too sure about it, but I mean, you pay this block account, then when you get to Germany, you use them. So any money you make, you can actually use it to pay back, assuming you borrowed this money from somewhere, okay? You can actually pay back in 3 months, and know that you keep using the block account and then save the rest of your money, right? So it's not a problem, but the major challenge is to have this money from beginning. Again, if you, even for those schools which are, taking money now, taking tuition fee, if you have a DAAD scholarship, you won't be needing to pay in those schools. But then to have a DAAD scholarship, you mostly have to have a first class before, because it's very competitive, okay? So that is about Germany. The next I would like to talk about is Brazil. Yeah, Brazil is tuition-free country. Yeah, someone may tell me, why do I need to go to Brazil? Brazil is not bad anyway. Of course, if you compare it with Canada, Australia, US, UK, they are still a bit lower, right? But then it is not bad for someone who is maybe in Ghana, in Nigeria, maybe in Kenya, somewhere there, So in India, Brazil is still a better economy. That means that if you would like to study, you can consider Brazil. It's America actually. I've missed America and Europe. So you can consider Brazil, and you can go to Brazil to study because it's tuition free. And the only challenge with Brazil, you need to write an exam called the CELPIP, because you're gonna be teaching. You need to know the Portuguese language to study in Brazil. So they will want you to write a CELPIP to be able to study in Brazil, even when it is an English taught course. So after this exam, you can study in Brazil. And one good thing in Brazil, if you have children in Brazil, they can become citizens, whereby any other family relative who lives in Brazil will have a permanent residency. So that's also great. The first country I would like to talk about is Italy. Yeah, in Italy, tuition fee is about 200 euro. I'm gonna be talking about, let's plug them together, Italy, Czech Republic and Austria. Yeah, I have a reason why I want to plug these three together. So in Italy, school fee is about 200 euro, the same thing with Czech Republic, and Austria is about 275 euro per semester. So that is also very fair and affordable. But the reason why I've clubbed these three together is that for you to study in these three countries, you will need to undergo authentication and legalization of your document before you can apply. This means that you're going to go to the Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs to authenticate your document, and after which you take it to the embassies of these countries in your home country, the embassies of this country in your home country, to legalize this document. Then you can now initiate your application process, and thereafter the visa processing processes. So that is about these three countries. The next I would like to talk about is Belgium. This is one country I love so much. You do not need to pay tuition fee before arrival in Belgium. Yeah, tuition fee is still considerably low, but the good thing is that you can pay in Belgium. You have to pay when you arrive in Belgium. And this tuition fee, which is also low, you can pay in 3 to 4 installments. So, for schools in Belgium, tuition fees about 1,000 euros, 3,000 euros, and up to 7,000 euros for the Pro Max schools. But then you can pay this up to 4 installments. So you can imagine paying $1,000 or $3,000 in 4 installments. It doesn't look like you're doing anything. So, and again, in Belgium, you do not need Ielts. The damn part of it is that you cannot move with your family at once. You can move with them much later when you are settled down in Belgium. The next school I'm going to be talking about is the country is France. And in France, you do not need Ielts. You can work while you're studying. Then tuition fee is very low, as low as 250 euros in public universities in France. And so this makes it quite easier for one to study in France. And number 9 I want to talk about is Malta. Malta is actually an English-speaking country, and if you are very keen about studying English, not just studying English, of course, all these ones have to study in English. If you're keen about going to an English-speaking country in Europe, you should be considering Malta. And you can work while you study, and it is easy to get admission in Malta. Within a short period of time, your admission is out. It's not too competitive, but the approval fund is a bit high. It's about 10 to 15,000 euro for proof of funds. So this is something you may need to consider. Then number 15, I want to talk about number 14 and 15 anyway, is Luxembourg and Switzerland. So let's look at Luxembourg. In Luxembourg, school fees is low, about 250 euro. And, there are a number of universities in Luxembourg, just few of them anyway. But one of the easiest to get admission in is called Learning University, but then it's for mainly sports, physiotherapy, and IT. And it is open all through the year for application process. They admit any time in the year, any month they admit you. But if you apply, you may apply today, and by next week you get an admission. But then it is for sports, physiotherapy, and IT mainly. But there are other skills in Luxembourg which you can consider, which are also very low tuition fee universities. And lastly, Switzerland. The major problem with Switzerland is that Switzerland is an expensive country in terms of living costs. Living costs is high in Switzerland, but then the universities there are free mostly, and they are tuition free universities, and very few universities which are cheap. For example, University of Basel is cheap, and you can only work in Switzerland for 15 hours in a day. So you have some time to study. They have this limitation for work hours, so that you will be able to study and achieve the reason why you've gone to Switzerland. And again, in Switzerland, you cannot move with your family as a student. So you may consider these things also while applying in Switzerland, especially as cost of living is high. In addition to these schools, which I've said the 15 which I promised, I would like to add to just like a plus. So you may need to consider Poland and Portugal. Studying in Poland and Portugal is considerably cheap, and is a great place to also experience. You can work and you can come along with your family. So if you have listened from beginning to the end, why not try this? Hit the application button and get it rolling. Yes, this is all you need to do in 2024 to kickstart. You don't need to dull in 2024. You need to get things happening. So congratulations if you've listened from beginning to the end, and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you enjoyed it. So why not share this video to your links on WhatsApp, to your links on Facebook. Let them be part of this experience. Cheers.